All right, well, let's move on to some right-wing cartoons.
Wow, I love the segue.
They're self-describing themselves as the South Park of X. First of all, the animation doesn't look anything like South Park.
The animation is so corny.
It looks more like Family Guy, as does Mr. Birchum, which we'll watch in a second.
And it's giving very All in the Family, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely Archie Bunker.
Archie Bunker all
for
the way,
sure,
right?
which is like the classic conservative dad archetype.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I have to point this out. The New Norm has 1 out of 10 on IMDb.
Wow.
Love to see that.
1 out of 10.
That is low. Okay, so the cast is Dave Rubin, Larry Elder, who ran for governor of California.
Larry Elder voices a cartoon now.
Larry Elder is basically Black Rush Limbaugh,
yeah.
right? And then, may I say, J.P. Sears. We've talked about J.P. Sears, but for those who don't know who that is, he is the archetype for the New Age to QAnon pipeline. He's like the go-to comedian of that whole scene.
Yeah.
Of people who went on 30, 40-day meditation retreats and came back thinking that Trump wasn't a pedophile and the election got stolen somehow.
Do you see me rubbing my balls right now?
I see your balls being rubbed.
Oh,
yeah.
my goodness.
Here is
the New Norm.
Yeah. Let's just analyze this as it goes.
What's that?
All right. So far, he's got the ankle monitor on because that's what happens when liberals take over. You can't say anything. You can't do, right?
You're talking about the symbolism. We don't know if he's actually been sentenced to a crime.
No, it's metaphorical. And then look, the beer is obviously LGBTQ.
Yeah.
Progress. It's the new norm.
The new norm ain't the same as the old norm. I'm the old norm. I want normal beer.
Warning, warning, perimeter reached.
Ugh. It's your fault I got house arrest.
You're the one who threatened the school board.
Oh, okay. So it's both.
So it is.
It's literal, but it's also metaphorical because it went off because he wants normal beer.
I gently suggested
Yelled.
they stop brainwashing my daughter that girls aren't girls and men aren't men.
Sometimes they're neither, or both, or furry and dressed like dogs.
Ow! Janice.
Also, the canned laughter is so unnecessary.
Yeah.
But they have to have it in there because it's awkward. Otherwise, it's not funny, right?
What's that?
Warning, offensive.
Actually, that is one of my pronouns. Also, they, them, and me.
That's Dave Rubin.
You're non-binary?
How do you know that word?
I learned it in school.
That's why I'm locked up.
Norm, the judge agreed to conditional parole.
What condition?
Where's my room?
That's
You're
staying here?
Chaz is part of a new government program.
To re-educate homophobic, transphobic, racist...
Charlie, finally, someone normal.
I don't understand. You're black.
Did that just Black Whisper?
You're his friend?
And boss?
That's the first time I've ever heard the term Black Whisper. That's Larry Elder, obviously.
When you coming back to the trophy shop?
As soon as I get rid of this, which means I gotta take in that?
Offensive.
Chaz is here to re-educate Norm.
In non-bonery studies.
Offensive.
I'm allergic to dogs.
It's okay. Billy is an emotional support dog and non-binary.
Oh, okay then. Good dog.
I come here to get away from woke.
Trouble at home?
Oh, my boy, or whatever it calls themselves now, is thinking about transitioning.
Reggie?
Try Regina.
Transitioning to what?
Another fumble.
Hopefully not a Jets fan.
That was a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know it was a joke.
Stating the obvious, it's painfully bad. It's painfully unfunny. I'm trying to figure out who actually unironically watches this.
The DL men that go to the RNC.
This
Thank
one's
you.
for you.
This is what they watch.
I can't drink. I'm not 21.
Y'all influenced my boy to cut off his junk, but draw the line at beer?
Can't do this.
Yes, we can.
Find a way to break him. Maybe we can fix the country.
What?
I just want
What?
normals. Beer.
You know there'll be jokes.
They had to pad out the last minute of this 3 minute and 42 second video.
Come on now.
Come on now. You ready for the next one?
Oh my God.
Let's go Mr. Birchum.
Okay.
Rule number 1, no phones in the wood shop. Fish it out after class.
I found some really great school uniform options to avoid misgendering.
Ooh, what about their allergies? Maybe those theys could be lactose intolerant.
No, we can't say intolerance. We have a zero tolerance policy for mentioning intolerance.
When I was a kid, men were men. Now everyone's wrapped up in feelings.
Real men stuff feelings down with red meat, cigarettes, and violence.
Whose voice is that?
Is it that one actor
Yeah.
that I like?
Yeah. Hold on. Who is that?
Red meat, cigarettes, and violence.
Oh, it's what's his face from Family Guy. It's the guy from Seinfeld. Elaine's on and off boyfriend.
Putty.
Putty.
It's Putty. It's Putty. No, Putty.
Putty. No.
No, Putty. Come back.
Why?
Don't do it, Putty.
Also, did Seth MacFarlane sell the cartoon rights to Adam Carolla? Doesn't this look exactly like Family Guy?
It's all the same.
He's gonna say that we're too young.
Well, actually, I was going to say you're too fat.
Rob Riggle's on this too? No. Kyle Dunnigan.
Patrick Warburton.
Jay Moore.
That's his name, isn't it?
Wait, Kyle Dunnigan's actually funny. Why is he doing this? Brett Cooper is female, Ben Shapiro, and then Megyn Kelly is like, you know who she is, right? She was on Fox News, hot Republican middle-aged woman.
Sure.
Wow. Okay.
Fuck. We
Okay.
lost Putty.
We lost Putty today.
We lost Putty today. Moment of silence.
All right. Here's Freedom Tunes.
Really want to see something that's sad. Take a look at what happened here.
Oh, wow. Look, I'm Donald Trump. I think I'm so cool because I got shot. What a loser. Are people seriously pretending that looks cool? He did a photo op because he heard a loud noise? Loser!
Said nobody. I've never heard anyone lead with that take.
No.
I've heard no one go with that take. Not once.
This is completely fabricated.
This is such a straw man.
Nobody thought that or said that.
This is projection.
This is what they are making up in their heads that
Exactly.
they think that people are saying.
I've seen not a single leftist make this point.
America will never be defeated. USA! USA! USA!
This is propaganda.
USA!
Is this not straight up propaganda?
Also, what?
USA! Wow, now he's juggling when you go to magic camp. Who is this supposed to impress?
Also, I like ZNN, as in it's so boring. ZNN. Because
Yeah, there's multiple Z's there, like a sleepy.
I suppose you can make the argument that he's criticizing neoliberal elites and CNN and mainstream media. But even on those networks, I've never heard anyone make this point.
The takeaway that I'm getting from this is that they're acting like the mainstream government is on board with leftist agenda, which is just not true.
That's a mirage.
Like, which
Yeah,
is
it's a total mirage.
Factually not true.
Yeah.
There's so much
Well, that's-
legislature
yeah, but-
being pushed back and repealed.
Buttons. Dr. Ben Carson thinks Kamala Harris is a Marxist.
As if we're supposed to be intimidated by this.
Oh, that's Joe Biden?
Oh, this just in. Joe Biden just bravely and heroically dropped out of the race with an extremely courageous tweet. Whoa, that's the bravest and most patriotic thing I've ever heard of.
This is gaslighting. It's gaslighting us from the whole idea that the last Trump election was stolen, right? Many judges around the country, many of them were Trump appointed. They went over these cases, right? Because it was like filed in all these states, right? And even they were like, no, this is all bullshit. And now Trump is trying to, come up with a plan just in case he loses this election to say that this was stolen too.
They're so close to the truth, yet just 2 steps
You're right. I agree.
off the path
I
over
totally
here,
agree with that.
where
Yeah.
I'm just like, as somebody who grew up in a small town, I kind of want those people that know how to actually fish and hunt and shoot guns and stuff like that. They're useful.
Yeah.
But I need them to get on board with the other people that are feeding their neighbors and doing mutual aid. Just because you don't understand somebody's gender, there's so much actually in common. You're just being led astray. You're being siphoned off into this weird cult over here. But the feelings of distrust in the
distrust
government,
of the oligarchs and the
ruling
quote unquote
class.
ruling class and
Like that is real.
the quote unquote deep state, the intelligence
and
agencies
the
like the
fact
CIA.
and the fact that like you are being
Homeland
programmed
Security.
and you are being taken advantage of, and they are moving towards deeper forms of fascism.
Right.
Those are all correct.
But they start to lose the plot when they're like, yeah, let's get rid of the FDA. Let's get rid of the Department of Education.
Because they've let these people convince them that that's the boogeyman, that's the bad guy. When it's like, no.
That to me is the first lily pad that goes off track.
They
It's like,
start taking it, yeah.
Yeah, it's like they're right to not trust these intelligence agencies. And I definitely understand from their perspective why they don't trust them from like a MAGA perspective or from a Trump loving perspective. Because sure, are there nefarious forces in the deep state that want to take Trump out? Probably. Like that's just probably true, right?
Yeah.
Whether you like Trump or not like Trump, that's just like probably true. That's where they're probably right. But then they go off track by being like, yeah, but we want to make him our God King, and we want to take away all of the decision making and power from the deep state, which maybe that part's right, but then they want to siphon it all up to the God King, and that part's totally obviously wrong.